the PDP released what they call the Liberation Team of 2025 in Koka Aguda, that's in Lagos, and they have the chairman to be Yoruba, Tessie White. There are 9 positions in the local government. They want a Yoruba woman to be the chairman, but the vice chairman will be Igbo. The ward, Osha ward, is an Igbo man. Bale ward is a Yoruba man. Aetoro is Yoruba. Koka ward is Igbo. And then Savage ward is Yoruba. Nuru Niwo ward is Calabar. And then Sonya ward is Igbo. So they have 7 ward. So 1 chairman, 1 vice chairman, 7 ward councillors. Of those 7 councillors, there are 2 that will be Yoruba, and then the others will be taken. Listen, this thing about not letting Igbo people have political posts, I'll say this thing. Before I used to say, it is important not to have Igbos represent anything in Yoruba land. It is very, very important. And I'll tell you why. And this is not about, I hate you, I don't want you. It's not about that. It's about understanding the mindset behind these things. It's not the chauffeur post above a post. If it's that, me, I'm like that. I can tell you. You live here, you can represent something here. That's fine. I mean, you live here now. Shebi, it's democracy. But no, it's not that kind of democracy. Because when you live in a country where people, even without political power, are laying claims on stuff, why would you want to give them that political power on a platter? Because you want to feel like if you do that, then you're going to pander to them and appeal to them, then you get to win, and then more people are going to now win. Even Tessie White is Igbo, Oton. And there's a reason PDP does this thing again and again, and LP too, they do it. It doesn't make sense. And if you like, call me bigot, I don't bloody care. It doesn't make sense. And the reason is because of the set of the kind of people who are desperate to have political power in Yoruba land. It is not necessary. Do I like the idea of representation? I used to like it to say, let everybody. You know what? If, for instance, it's other people, I think it will make sense. But understanding the history and seeing the desperation for power and domination in other people's spaces that I've seen in the last 80 years. I'm not talking about 2025. I have records from 90. Did I say 80? What am I talking about? For almost 90 years. I have records from 38. I have strategic records from 1944. And you see, I used to say, it's another generation, things have changed, until I discovered that nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. And if you're my friend, you're able understand this. When it comes to politics, there's a way people that own the land want it to play out. Like, if this sounds very extreme, Bruce, why would you speak like this? Because I see the threat. It's a very present danger. People are turning things around, using names. What we used to do back then is you give your children names because you love those people and you want to be part of them, and then you grow together. What we see is people are using names as a strategy to take over spaces. Why would I want to now allow you to have political power? Because you are doing this without political power. What will you do if you have political power? This is why some people will never ever amount to anything much in Nigerian politics. I can assure you. There are people that will be strategically positioned to ensure that it doesn't work. Look at the way people are moving. Why are we naive and all this? I don't want to be a bigot. I don't really care. If they call me bigot, if they call me you got, that's your business. I prefer malt, yeah. Well, you got is fine too, because I like taking you got. Mix it with some things like that. Especially another one by let me not mention any brand name. Since they didn't spend more, they didn't pay me. But I had one yesterday. It was sweet. They mixed it with fura and some other things like that. So if you call me you got, I love it anyway. The point is that when it comes to the politics of a space, the folks who own that space must be the ones to determine what happens there. We must, and Don't let anybody cower you and get you to cower and say things like, oh, why are you not educated? Why are you not a Christian? Those are two things I've heard. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. Guess where Herod was from? Guess why Rome chose Herod? One day. I don't think we even understand the political aspect of this Christianity that we're always talking about, or the politics in the Bible, not necessarily by Christians, but what's happening around them. Apart from just, Nigerian churches, and with all due respect to our ministers, I think we have too much focus on money. God bless me, God, a miracle. That people don't really sit down to study. When I was growing up, we used to have Bible study on Mondays. We have Sunday school on Sundays. Then we have classes, during the week where we, apart from going to Bible school and seminary and all that, even as children, we're taught eschatology. I understood, maybe not understood, but I started learning eschatology before I was 10. Many churches today just motivational speaking. They don't get it. Any small nation, are you not a Christian? Do you even know what it means? Do you not understand politics based on the Bible? Do you get what it is? All this just be crying. So let's make something very clear. This thing that PDP is doing, it's dangerous, and they will not win. May they not win. And if you're Yoruba, listen. Oh, but they say, in the US, in the UK, Yoruba people are mayors, Yoruba people are doing this. Yoruba people are not threatening the owners of the land. The point I'm trying to make is that I think and I think it's not about Christians alone. Everybody in Nigeria, Christians or Muslims or even the traditional worshippers, they don't understand religion and politics. Everybody's just what they can get. Everybody's after what they can get from the God of that religion. If we are really keeping it a buck, it's a general problem of our worldview as a people. You don't go to for the most part, everybody who is a person of faith in Nigeria, for not all of us, but for the most part, your relationship with God is based on what you can get from him. It's transactional. And I don't care what religion you belong to, everybody, unless of course you have there of course are exceptions. I would say I'm an exception for obvious reasons. I studied this thing for years, but there are many people like me. There are hundreds of thousands. I'm sure very many people are educated, but for the most part, it's transactional. Whether you go to church, to mosque, or to your shrine, it is transactional. What do I give to this deity? What can I get in return? That's what we do. And that's why we don't even understand. We don't understand the faith that we are professing. And this cuts across all religions in Nigeria, especially Yoruba land. We don't know jack. And that's why when people are fighting each other on religion, I'm wondering, like, this one is ignorant, is fighting, is pot calling kettle black. Doesn't understand jack about religion, but so that was like, you don't know anything, like, you don't know anything. But it's our religion that's your problem. It's your religion that's the problem. I'm like, oh my God. If you really get into the core of Christianity, you'll be fiercely nationalistic. You will love people. You will love everyone. You'll be, everybody should do well. But when it comes to how the space is run, do you know in the Bible, I think I've said this here before, in the Bible, governments came up with policies to ensure the protection of their own citizens. I think it's a church talk. Maybe it's here too. Maybe I'll talk about it some of these days. The kind of policies that different cities and nations use to protect their own people. And that is biblical. I am saying all of this to say that this thing where people say things like, but you're a Christian. So? But you're a Christian. Let somebody else come and take over your space. See, all of us are going to heaven. There's a joke from Benga Deboye. I think it's Laisa Abeshukmule. They have this conversation and I was fighting over a piece of land and somebody told him that that's what was it Abeshukmule? One of those, his characters, the characters he used. In other words, even if I don't need that land, I'll leave it for my children. And if you don't think it's that important, why do you want it so badly? So, I don't know, but PDP, the party is dead essentially in Lagos because Jando essentially put everybody the party, they moved into APC. I think it was it this month or last month? They moved into APC. So, but this pandering thing, I think Yoruba people need to wise up, be fair to everybody as far as the proceeds or the benefits of, oh, you are here, or take this. But when it comes to determining how it runs, and I'm going to have a session on this. We'll go back to what happened to TOS Benson in Ikorodu and how NCNC people, Igbo people, not NCNC, Igbo people in NCNC frustrated Yoruba people in Lagos. How Igbo people in NCNC used the party because they were leading that party and reached out to folks in Enugu to frustrate the Yoruba candidates in Lagos. Why? Because we are all one Nigeria. The only thing that TOS Benson had was popularity, so that he was able to leave that party and then he ran as essentially an independent candidate. So it's important for us to understand this, and like this thing is not just we're not all together. There's something sinister. There's another thing behind all of this thing, and if you don't get it, just don't forget about it. Learn it, please. We don't want you to forget about anything. If you don't get it, please study it. And what you end up doing is that, listen, you're going to, because this is what Christianity does for me. Because I'm a Christian, I'm going to love you. But because I'm a Christian, I'm also going to protect my space.